Hey everyone, Darren here from the Music Vault. I just uploaded my 15 favorite death metal albums, or 15 death metal albums that I like. Well, I'm gonna do 15 thrash albums that I like, plus a bonus. Man, I grew up listening to thrash. That's what I cut my teeth on when I was a kid. Because I grew up in the 80s. You had, like, I grew up at the start of Metallica, Slayer. I don't know about Venom because I think they came out in the late 70s, I want to say. Early 80s, they've been around. I don't know. I've never been a huge Venom fan. I like Venom. I can't stand... That's the lyrics. I just can't get past the lyrics. I don't like that Satan, Satan, Satan crap. However, yeah. Like I said, I cut my teeth on thrash. I remember listening to Metallica's Ride the Lightning for like the first time in like when I was like 13 or something like that, and I was like, and that was about, no, I think it was 14. I think it was, because I think my buddy, he had it. He says, dude, you gotta check this out. So I think I got into Metallica around 84. That would have put me at about 14. So, I mean, and then when I got into high school, everything just kind of snowballed, you know. And then the older I got, the more heavier my taste got, and the more people I met introduced me to new music and different styles. So, I mean, I'm sitting here at 51 years old, and my wife just shakes her head. I'm cranking out death metal and grindcore and black metal. Not a lot of black metal, because again, the lyrics. But there are, you know, Christian bands, and I don't care what people say. There are Christian bands that can be black metal. Black metal is a style of music. It's not a lifestyle. So move on, people. But anyways, so right now I've got 15 plus 1. And 3 of them, I think people would argue, well, that's not really thrash metal. Technically, maybe not, but they came out and they helped boost that whole thrash metal scene. And you'll see when I bring them up. And the first one being Exciter, Violence and Force. To me, this is the pivotal Exciter album. This is the one that this is the best of the best of the best Exciter. I mean, Scream in the Night, Swords of Darkness, Delivering the Master, Saxons of the Fire, War is Hell, of course, Violence and Force. Come on, you can't tell me that this album is not, I don't know, it's awesome. Up next, these guys were kind of like at the beginning, well, not kind of like, they were at the beginning of the whole thrash and speed metal movement. And that is, let me see if I can get this stupid thing off. Exodus, Bonded by Blood. This is the album that started it all. I remember, and you know what? There's just so many albums, you know. This one is a combat release, but it's a repress. I want to get the one with the 2 babies on the front, the good and the evil, you know. Up next, I think this one would be definitely a breaking point for this band, but at the same time, I think this was one of the albums that took thrash, speed metal, to a whole new level. That's Slayer's Rain and Blood. This is the expanded version. I have this on vinyl as well. This is probably, I would say, my favorite Slayer album. The two before it, or the three before, I want to get Haunting the Chapel, only because I love that song, Chemical Warfare. Such a cool song. More Bay Area, Testament. I'm doing CDs because I show off vinyl all the time. I figured, you know what? I have all these CDs. I'm going to show these off for once. Now, Exciter, people argue it's more power metal than thrash. Sacrifice, you can't deny. This is thrash. This is the last album that they did. I have everything on vinyl, but I figured that I would just pull this one out. Great album. The Ones That I Condemn by Sacrifice. Brazilian thrash right here. This is the Shiznet right there beneath the remains. Everything from the cover to the name of the song to that photo to every song on here. Thumbs up, man. That's awesome. Vengeance Rising, or better known as Vengeance. Human Sacrifice. This is actually an original pressing because it has no Rising on it. It has just the Vengeance logo, and they apparently there was already a Vengeance out there, and so they had to change their name to Vengeance Rising. But this is a Vengeance original copy, Human Sacrifice. Probably this release is probably what catapulted Christian thrash, Christian speed metal, metal in general, extreme metal in general. I think this album here is probably to me the key album that opened up the doors for everything extreme. This is the second of the three that I told you about that could be conceived as, say, power metal, thrash, speed metal. I don't know, but again, this band came out with all of these other bands. This is Germany's Rage. This is my favorite album from these guys. Perfect Man. I heard the song Don't You Fear the Winter. I saw the video on Much Music on the Loud channel. Had to get it. And I have it on cassette. I want to get it on vinyl too, so I can have... I love that. This is my favorite Rage album. Another Canadian staple, and this is by far my favorite album from this band, and that is Razer. Violent Restitution. I love this album. My favorite album. Good, friendly, violent fun on this band. Tongue-in-cheek, everything. Okay. Third album that could be, you know, and that's Metal Church's first album. Beyond the Black is a great song. Merciless Onslaught, which is the instrumental. I freaking love that song. This could be more like power metal, I guess you could call this band. And I think later on it just became like more of a heavy metal power band. I'm not, you know, they came out, like, I think this album was 84, 85. So it came out around Ride the Lightning, around Slayer's Rain and Blood. And I think Ride the Lightning came out in 84, I think. Slayer's Rain and Blood was 85, 86. 86. So, I mean, a lot of these bands, like, they were all friends, like, they all toured together. So I don't know, like, to me, I put them in there with the thrash because it's metal church, man. Some of the new, a lot of the, I don't listen to too much new school thrash. I'm more of an old school kind of guy. There are good bands that, like Warbringer, Havoc, Municipal Waste, pretty good band. I don't know why I don't listen to more thrash. Probably because I had a huge death metal phase for the longest time. Just trying to see. Plus, I went into a hardcore punk phase for a while. Like, I've always been into punk, but you know, you kind of go into phases. And then lately, I've been into like a prog metal phase, like prog rock, prog metal, Rush, Saga, Dream Theater, all these proggy kind of bands. Even go back to Genesis, Gentle Giant, all this kind of stuff, right? So you go through all these kind of phases. But the new school thrash stuff, I don't know if it resonates with me. I don't know why. There's a lot of great bands out there. When I go to look up, you know, I don't know, there's just something about it. It doesn't have that old, I don't know, it's the vibe, I think. I don't know. People are going to probably think I'm nuts, but hey, I mean, you like what you like, right? Of course, excuse me, everything that started it for me. Up until this point, which was 84, I was into Maiden, Priest, Def Leppard, like early Def Leppard, Pyromania back, a little bit of Kiss, Quiet Riot, you know, that kind of stuff. And then when I discovered Metallica and, oddly enough, Twisted Sister, all in the same day. And the first 3 Sister albums are spot on. Under the Blade, even up to Stay Hungry. But that earlier stuff, to me, is awesome. Their later stuff, Love Is for Suckers, and what was the other one? Come Out and Play? Was that what the one it was? And I just could never get into. They were too. By that point, Twisted Sister had become too much of a bubblegum band for me. And I know I'm going to catch some hell from that, but sorry. But yeah, excuse me. Definitely a turning point for me with this album. Oh, down here. And of course, you can't have Metallica without Megadeth. Now, I don't know why, but for some reason, I never had this on album or CD ever. This is their first album, Killing Is My Business. I don't know why. I don't know. I just got this the other day in the mail. Because I think I was looking for it. And then I'm like, I don't even have it on vinyl, which I thought I did. However, I went to get it and it was like $300. I'm like, yeah, no. So, $11 from the States. Free shipping. My favorite German thrash album right here. Creator, Pleasure to Kill. This is remastered. I have this on vinyl. And I think I also have it on original CD as well. Which came out on the Noise label. I don't know if this is a repressing either. I had it on cassette. But the cassette is now gone. And the cassette came out on, I think I had it on Bonsai. Deliverance, what a joke. Nice, chunky, fat riffing, fast. Cheeseburger maker do. I think it's just a recipe. It's the beat. What a joke. Prophecy, Prophet of Idiocy, awesome song. Another awesome Christian band. Some of these bands, if you haven't heard them, I highly suggest you hunt them down. If you're a old school thrash guy like myself, and you haven't heard some of these stuff, I highly suggest you go hunt them down. You won't be disappointed. And of course, maybe this is another one. I don't think so. This is Flotsam and Jetson's Doomday for the Deceiver. This is their favorite. This is my favorite one. Although, I gotta say, I've been listening to Blood in the Water. Holy mackerel. That is a game changer for me. I stopped listening to these guys around Quattro, I think. Which is, I think, around their 4th album. Just didn't appeal to me anymore. But this album always has. This is the 20th anniversary edition of Doomday. And I think... yeah. I think I have... yeah, the original. And this is out on Metal Blade Caroline. But this was their follow-up. And I used to have this on vinyl. I don't know what the heck happened to it. I think I just beat it up and didn't take care of it. I think I ended up throwing it in the garbage because it was just trashed. There you go. 15 plus 1 of some of my favorite thrash albums. I think I'm going to do a couple more. I'm going to do maybe some punk. My favorite punk bands. Now, it won't be just hardcore bands. I do like the California punk scene, like Pennywise, No Effects, that era of punk rock. I also love the Exploited, Discharge, GBH style punk rock. So you never know. You might see another video up here in the next day or two. I might even do a straight up heavy metal one. Just power metal, who knows. Anyways, I talked enough. You guys take care of yourself, and I'll see you next video. Cheers.